of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCall.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. People in the town of Fox Lake, Illinois, advised to stay inside. Several schools are closed for the day. A heavily armed task force searching in sweltering heat for 3 men suspected in the murder of Lieutenant Charles Gliniewicz, 30-year veteran, married with 4 children, nicknamed G.I. Joe. Seems like everyone in the town knew this man. The latest murder of a police officer prompting a public show of support from law enforcement. Lieutenant Gliniewicz is the 4th officer killed in the country in 9 days. So far, 22 officers have been shot and killed since the beginning of this year, 2015.
Rod Wheeler is former Washington, D.C. homicide detective and a Fox News contributor. Rod, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Martha.
Here we go again, right?
That's right. You know, this is a very unfortunate situation that happened to this lieutenant known as G.I. Joe yesterday. Now, real quickly, let me give you some new information that I just learned. There's over a dozen helicopters in the air in that area in northern Illinois right now searching the wooded area, the number of wooded areas up there, heavily marsh area, a lot of forestry area, and there's over 49 canine dogs, sniffer dogs, also searching for these 3 suspects. Now, the police up there, Martha, has set up a dragnet that has extended well over 25 miles in that area. The reason for that is because they're not exactly sure, Martha, whether or not these 3 gunmen yesterday were able to get out of that immediate area or if they're still in that area. So right now the focus is on the immediate area, but it's going to continue to expand throughout the day.
Are you surprised there's 3 of them? They were on them right away. You surprised they haven't found them yet?
You know, not really, because we're talking, Martha, about 3 really dangerous, armed and dangerous individuals. I mean, they've shown, they've already played their cards yesterday when they shot the lieutenant. So we know that these guys are not going to go easily, and that's why you see the heavily armed police officers up there in SWAT gear, because we expect a battle when these 3 individuals are in fact caught.
Yeah. You know, we have seen it's been a hot summer, a long one, for police violence, for people being killed in these incidents. And these police officers, we saw a huge outpouring of support. Here are the 4 individuals that have been lost in just the last 9 days. Are we hearing more about these incidents because of what has happened in recent months, or is it happening more, Rod?
You know, I'll tell you, when you look at the actual numbers, now initially it may look like it's not happening as much as it did last year. It's a difference, though, and the difference real quickly is this. We have a lot of this anti-police rhetoric going on across this country right now, Martha, and that is definitely playing a role in some of these shootings. Look at this shooting just down in Texas this past week of that police officer gunned down in cold blood. You can't tell me, and you'll never be able to tell me, that that wasn't the result of some of this rhetoric that's being exposed by some of these groups like Black Lives Matter. They are calling for the lynching. They are calling for the killings of police officers. And when you have an individual that's already mentally unstable, people tend to react to that kind of crap. And what we're going to continue to see are these kinds of shootings until we hear something come out of the White House and the Justice Department clearly stating that this will not be tolerated. And we haven't heard that yet, Martha, out of anybody at the Justice Department at all.
Why is that, Rod?
You know, Martha, I don't like to get into the political thing, but I'll tell you, I don't know the reason for that, but I can tell you this. A lot of people in these communities were promised hope and change. I mean, it is what it is. Did they get hope? Yes. They're hopeless. Did they get change? Yes. They're changed for the worse. So I think, you know, because they were not given what they were promised, no jobs, the educational system is really screwed up. All of these things play a role in this. Unfortunately, though, it's misdirected in terms of what the Black Lives Matter movement is doing. You know, their aggression is directed towards police officers, and they're clearly misdirected. It should be directed at the government and at some of these politicians, but it starts at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I mean, that's where it starts.
Rod, thank you very much. We hope they find these guys, and we hope they find them soon. Rod Wheeler,
thank you, Martha.
DC. Yeah.